Leading off for the Rangers in the bottom of the first is going to be shortstop Sean Kelly. He'll be followed by Hagen Barcelo and Brandon Holdren. The top three of the Rangers lineup hitting over 560 this past weekend against Southern Nazarene in the Rangers three-game sweep, in which they scored 42 runs. Rangers come into this game with a record of 12-11. They are tied for seventh in the GAC, and they're going to face Justin Santos on the mound. And the first pitch from Santos, and Sean Kelly takes that for a ride back onto the center field of John Cabrera. It's going to be off the wall. Kelly rounds first. He's going to get into second, and the Rangers, one pitch, and they've got a leadoff double. So that'll bring up Hagen Barcelo for the Rangers. Sean Kelly just missed taking that one out. Hagen Barcelo hitting .366 on the season. He's got 7 home runs and 26 RBIs. Rangers have hit 34 home runs on the season compared to only 8 for the Aggies. But the Aggies did score twice in the top of the first. Here's the first pitch from Santos. And Barcelo is going to take ball one. Justin Santos on the mound for Panhandle State today. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and Barcelo will take strike one. Hagen Barcelo, we said, is hitting .366 on the season. Had a really nice trip to Bethany over the weekend. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that's going to be inside for a ball, and the count's going to move to 2-1. Barcelo got 8 hits and 16 at-bats, a home run and 6 RBIs. Hit .500 in that series against Southern Nazarene. And here's the pitch, and Barcelo will lift that one foul, and that'll move the count to 2-2. Justin Santos, a junior out of Antlers, Oklahoma for the Aggies, making his first start of the season. He's 2-0. He's pitched 8 1/3 innings on the season. He's given up 10 hits, 8 earned runs. He's walked 6 and struck out 12. Rangers are certainly hoping to get a couple across in this inning. 2-2 pitch is going to be outside for ball 3. Pitch gets away from catcher De La Cueva, but he manages to find it and holds Sean Kelly at second base. The Rangers on the season have stolen 14 bases on 21 attempts. Sean Kelly is leading the team in steals. He's got 9 on the season. 3-2 the count. Here's the pitch. And Sean will lift that one foul. And the count will stay at 3-2. Hagen Barcelo will lift that one foul anyway. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and that's going to be taken for ball 4. So the Rangers have their first 2 hitters get on base, and that'll bring up Brandon Holdren. Brandon Holdren, another one of these Ranger hitters who just had a massive series against Southern Nazarene over the weekend. Holdren hit .538, had 2 home runs and 9 RBIs in the 3-game set. Here's the first pitch, and he is first pitch swinging and missing for strike one. Holdren on the season leading the Rangers in hitting, .373 on the season. He's got 3 home runs, 16 RBIs, an on-base percentage of .478. On deck for the Rangers is left fielder John Schaefer. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And that's going to get over for a strike, and the count's going to move to 0-2. Brandon Holdren out of Baytown, Texas, by way of Ranger Junior College. Down 0-2 to Justin Santos. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and that's going to be shot back up the middle. Second baseman Ryan Kusamoto can't get it. Sean Kelly's going to round third. He's going to score. Meanwhile, Barcelo gets to third. And the Rangers have a run across, and they've cut the lead to 2-1. So that'll bring up John Schaefer for the Rangers. Schaefer is another one of these Ranger hitters that is off to a good start on the season, hitting .329. He's got 3 home runs and 12 RBIs. A chance to pick up another RBI here. First pitch to Schaefer is called strike one. John Schaefer out of Beggs, Oklahoma, by way of Carl Albert State College. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's swung on a miss for a strike. And the count will move to 0-2. Schaefer, while we're on the subject of Rangers weekend series against Southern Nazarene, hit .333, a couple of home runs, 4 RBIs. 0-2 pitch is swung on a miss for strike 3. And that'll bring up Gavin Mendoza. Mendoza just underneath the 300 line for the season, hitting at .297, no home runs, 8 RBIs. Going to try to get Hagen Barcelo across here. On deck for the Rangers, if the inning continues, is Braden Koenig. Here's the first pitch, and that ball is going to be lifted into left field for a base hit. Hagen Barcelo will score. Brandon Holdren to second, and the Rangers have tied the game at 2-2. So that'll bring up Braden Koenig to face Justin Santos. Koenig, yet another one of these Ranger hitters who's above 300. One of 6 Ranger hitters that's hitting above 300. He's at .333 with 5 home runs, 13 RBIs on the season. And the first pitch from Santos, Koenig is swinging, and he's going to foul that one off. And the count's going to be 0-1. So 0-1 the count. Gavin Mendoza at first, Brandon Holdren at second. Rangers still only 1 out. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be low for a ball. Move the count to 1-1. Braden Koenig Jr. out of Fargo, North Dakota. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch from Santos. That's going to be a sharp grounder. Fielding it is Arita. Fires to second for 1. Fires over to first. There's the double play. But the Rangers do strike for 2. They get 2 runs on 3 hits. And we're knotted up at 2 apiece as we go to the top of the second. Well, Garrett DeHaas is on for his second inning of work. He will face Jet Brown, Jose Arita, and Luis De La Cueva. Jet Brown leading off for the Aggies, and the first pitch to Brown is taken for a strike. Brown comes into the game hitting 188 on the season, no home runs, 11 RBIs. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and that's going to be outside for a ball. Jet Brown, a sophomore out of Yukon, the Oklahoma City area. 1-1 the count, and here's the pitch, and that's going to be inside for a ball. And the count's going to move to 2-1. The Aggies scored 2 runs in the top of the first on 3 hits. The Rangers answered by scoring 2 in the bottom of the first on 3 hits. The 2-1 pitch to Jet Brown is taken for a ball, and the count's going to move to 3-2. So 3-1 the count. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed. And that'll bring the count full to 3-2. The Haas on the season has walked 7 hitters in 17 1/3 innings. Here's the payoff pitch. And that's going to be hit sharply up the middle. That's going to get in for a single. And for the second inning in a row, the Aggies have a leadoff runner at first base. Actually, in the first inning, if you'll remember, Ryan Kusamoto hit a double. But for the second inning in a row, the Aggies have their leadoff hitter aboard. That'll bring up Jose Arita to face the 6'5" right-hander for the Rangers. Arita around a bunt, and that's going to be fouled off for strike 1. Arita on the season comes into today's game hitting 149, no home runs and 6 RBIs. He has walked 9 times, struck out 12. Squares around a bunt again, and he fouls that one off. So the count will move to 0-2. It'll be interesting to see if he squares up for the third time with the 0-2 count. On deck for the Aggies is catcher De La Cueva. So 0-2 the count. The Haas checks the runner at first, Jet Brown, following his leadoff single. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and that's going to be hit right back up the middle. Shortstop Kelly over to second for 1, over to first. There's the second, and your classic 6-4-3 double play clears the deck for Garrett DeHaas. And that'll bring up catcher Luis De La Cueva. And the first pitch to the catcher, taken for a ball. De La Cueva comes into today's game hitting 200. No home runs, 3 RBIs. And the 1-0 pitch is taken for a ball. And the count is now 2-0. De La Cueva out of Aurora, Colorado, fouls off the 2-0 pitch. Brings the count to 2-1. Here's DeHaas with the 2-1 pitch, swung on and missed. And that'll bring the count to 2-2. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. And that ball's going to be lifted into right field. Braden Koenig is underneath it. Makes the catch, and it's 3 up, 3 down for Garrett DeHaas. We go to the bottom of the second. This game's tied 2-2. Well, now pitching for the Aggies is going to be number 1, James Moya. Moya on the season has pitched 2 innings. He's given up 2 hits, 4 earned runs. He's walked 6 and struck out 2. And he will face Theron Perkins, Brady Bejarano, and Trevor Stiles for the Rangers. James Moya Jr. out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Rangers did get 2 runs in the bottom of the first on 3 hits. So Theron Perkins will lead us off. Theron today's playing first base for the Rangers. Comes into today's game. Hitting .364 on the season, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs. And he will face the junior out of Albuquerque. And the first pitch to Perkins is low for ball 1. It will be Brady Bejarano and Trevor Stiles, who are assured of hitting in this inning. Of course, if the Rangers can get something going, you'll be back to the top of the order then. Here's the 0-1 pitch, the 1-0 pitch, and that's taken for a ball. And the count's going to move to 2-0. Theron Perkins out of Lake Stevens, Washington, by way of Edmonds Community College. Ahead in the count here, 2-0. Here's the pitch. And that ball is going to be lifted into left field. That's going to be trouble. Perkins rounds first. He's headed to second. Jet Brown is up with it. And Theron Perkins has a leadoff double. So the Rangers, for the second time today, get their leadoff hitter on board. Brady Bejarano steps up for the Rangers now. Bejarano on the season. This will only be his 6th at bat. He does not have a hit yet, but he has scored a couple of runs. Pitch running situations. And here's the first pitch, and that's going to be low and outside for ball 1. So the Rangers scored 2 in the bottom of the first, looking to add here. Bejarano out of Surprise, Arizona, by way of Glendale Community College. He's ahead in the count to James Moya. And here's the 1-0 pitch, and that's going to be outside for a ball. That's going to get away from catcher De La Cueva. And Theron Perkins is going to move to third on the wild pitch. So now the Rangers have a runner on third, a 2-0 count to Brady Bejarano in a game that's tied 2-2 in the bottom of the second. Bejarano, no doubt, here will be looking fastball, something he can drive. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be taken for a ball. And the count's going to move to 3-0. Trevor Stiles in the on-deck circle for the Rangers, hoping to have an RBI opportunity if Brady Bejarano will be given the free pass here. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and that's going to be outside and low for a ball. So Brady Bejarano is going to take first base, and that'll bring up Trevor Stiles for the Rangers. Trevor today getting the nod at catcher instead of Hayden Priest. Trevor comes into today's game hitting .214 with an RBI on the season. Here's the first pitch from Moya. Stiles is over to bunt. It's a good one. Moya dives for it, can't come up with it. That's going to end up being an infield single. It's also going to get an RBI because Theron Perkins comes home to score. And the Rangers now lead at 3-2. So that'll bring up Sean Kelly. Kelly led off the game for the Rangers with a double, and he's first pitch swinging here. That's going to get down in left field for a base hit. Bejarano's going to round third. He's going to score. Trevor Stiles is going to hold up at second, and Sean Kelly's torrid hitting is going to continue. And the Rangers now lead at 4-2. Sean Kelly getting exactly what he wanted early in the count. He's being aggressive, and he's now 2 for 2 on the day. That'll bring up Hagen Barcelo. Barcelo walked his first at bat. Rangers now with runners on first and second, still no outs in the bottom of the second, leading 4-2. Here's the first pitch, and that's going to be outside for a ball. James Moya struggling a bit with his command. He's thrown 10 pitches. 7 of them have been balls. Only 3 he's thrown for strikes. The count here is 1-0 to the Rangers' second baseman. And here's the pitch. And that's going to be shot back up the middle, but on to second baseman Kusamoto, steps on second for one, fires over to first, and there's the double play. Meanwhile, Trevor Stiles gets to third. Pretty nice play there by second baseman Kusamoto. So that'll bring up Brandon Holdren. Holdren is 1 for 1 with a single. Certainly if he could get another one here, the Rangers would extend their lead with Trevor Stiles on third. The first pitch to Holdren is low for a ball. Count is 1-0 to the Rangers' third baseman, starting third baseman today. John Schaefer in the on-deck circle. He gets the sign, and here's the 1-0 pitch, and that's going to be outside for a ball. And the count's going to move to 2-0. A little bit of a difficult thing here, pitching to a hitter like Brandon Holdren, who is off to such a good start, hitting .373 on the season. Rangers' top 3 hitters, .373, .366. Sean Kelly's .257, but he's on a torrid pace. That pitch is going to get away from De La Cueva, and the Rangers are going to score on the wild pitch. So now the Rangers lead it by a score of 5-2. Count is 3-0 to Brandon Holdren. So 3-0 the count. Here's the pitch from Moya. And that's going to be low for a ball. So for the second time this inning, the Rangers have worked a walk. And that'll bring up John Schaefer. Schaefer struck out swinging in his first at bat in the game, but he's hitting .329 on the season. Schaefer making his 19th start on the season. And the first pitch from Moya. And that's going to be inside for ball 1. So Moya now has thrown 16 pitches. 12 of them have missed. And the Aggies have a right-hander warming up, in their bullpen. Meanwhile, soft grounder's hitting. The pitcher can't get it. The second baseman just flips it over to first. Kusamoto tries to just flip it. But John Schaefer's hustling down the line, and he's got himself an infield single. And that'll bring up Gavin Mendoza. Mendoza is 1 for 1 on the day. He's singled in his first at bat. So Rangers have runners on first and second, following a walk and a single. And here's the first pitch from James Moya. And that's going to be low for a ball. 1-0 the count. Braden Koenig, the on-deck circle for the Rangers. Here's Moya with the 1-0 pitch. That's going to be outside for a ball. And the count's going to move to 2-0. So Rangers leading 5-2. They got 2 in the first. They've gotten 3 here in the second. And looking for more with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And that's over for a strike. Count's going to move to 2-1 to the Rangers' designated hitter. 2-1 the count. John Schaefer at first. Brandon Holdren at second. Here's the pitch. And that's going to catch the outside corner for strike 2. So the count moves to 2-2. Hope everybody's enjoying their spring break so far. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and that's going to be outside for a ball. And that's going to move our count to 3-2. So 3-2 the count. Rangers have continued their offensive production from over the weekend against Southern Nazarene when they scored 42 runs in 3 games. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and that's going to be taken for a ball. So that'll load them up for Brandon Koenig. Koenig grounded out in his first time at bat. Looks like we're going to get a visit to the mound, and we're going to have a pitching change. And we'll tell you who's coming in for the Aggies when we come back here in a few moments. So on to pitch for Oklahoma Panhandle State is going to be Jacob Verdon. Verdon has pitched 2 1/3 innings on the season. He's given up 8 earned runs. He's walked 4. He's struck out 4. And he will face Braden Koenig to get things started for the Rangers. Jacob Verdon, a freshman out of Baytown, Texas, down there around the Houston area. He comes in with the unenviable task of facing a red-hot Rangers lineup, and his first pitch to Braden Koenig is a ball. You're coming in out of the bullpen with the bases loaded, and you're facing a lineup that is just red-hot right now, and a hitter that's hitting at .333. Braden Koenig takes that on a ride to center field, but there for the catch is center fielder John Cabrera. Makes the catch, and Rangers leave them full, but they do strike for 3 runs, and they lead it 5-2 as we go to the top of the third. Well, it'll be the top of the Aggies lineup that will face Garrett DeHaas out for his third inning of work. Ryan Kusamoto, John Cabrera, and Jeremy DiBartolomeo. Kusamoto leads things off. He is 1 for 1. He doubled down the left field line to lead the game off for the Aggies. And the first pitch from DeHaas is strike one. That double by Kusamoto, I thought it was a foul ball, but it was a double. 0-1 the pitch, and that one is fouled off for a strike, and that's going to move the count to 0-2. Full day for baseball. Rangers have won 3 in a row, trying to make it 4. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and that's going to be outside for a ball, and the count's going to move to 1-2. So 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be right back up the middle. On to his second baseman, Barcelo, but he can't make the throw. Well, he makes the throw, but it's not in time. And Kusamoto has his second hit of the day. That's such a hard play to make when you're going one way and you have to throw across your body the other way. It's hard to get a lot of zip on that throw. Barcelo did a good job of getting to it and making the throw, but just couldn't get quite enough on it to get a speedy Ryan Kusamoto. And that'll bring up John Cabrera. Cabrera today is 1 for 1. He singled back in the first. The first pitch to Cabrera, he's swinging. And Sean Kelly's up with it. There's 1 over to first, and there's 2 for the double play for the Rangers. So 1 swing of the bat, and the bases are cleared. So that'll bring up Jeremy DiBartolomeo. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out on a little nubber back to pitcher Garrett DeHaas in the first, and the first pitch is taken for a ball. And the count is 1-0. 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch from DeHaas, and that's going to be inside for a ball. And the count's going to move to 2-0. Rangers, as we've said, have won 3 in a row, looking to make it 4. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be sky high. Trevor Stiles is underneath it, makes the catch, and there's your third out. So 3 up, 3 down for Garrett DeHaas by virtue of a double play, Holdren to Barcelo to Perkins. We go to the bottom of the third. Rangers leading this one 5-2. Well, on to pitch for the Aggies is going to be number 26, Brandon Rodriguez. Rodriguez on the season has pitched 5 1/3 innings. He's given up 5 runs. He's walked 6, and he's struck out 5. Opponents are hitting .375 off of him so far this season, and he will face Theron Perkins, Brady Bejarano, and Trevor Stiles for the Rangers. Theron Perkins leads us off. He is 1 for 1 with a double. And the Aggies look for someone who can throw some strikes, but the first pitch to Theron Perkins is taken for a ball. Aggie pitchers have had a difficult issue today not getting first pitch strikes over. Just kind of struggle to throw strikes in general. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And that one's going to be fouled off. And the count's going to move to 1-1. So 1-1's the count. Perkins certainly looking to continue his hot streak going. And the 1-1 pitch is going to be over for a strike. And that's going to move the count to 1-2. On deck for the Rangers will be Brady Bejarano. Rangers want to continue capitalizing on opportunities as they have in this game. 1-2 pitch bounces in front of De La Cueva for a ball. And that's going to move the count to 2-2. Brandon Rodriguez, as we said, is one of the leading pitchers in terms of ERA for the Aggies, but he's listed on the roster as a third baseman. The 2-2 pitch is going to be low and outside, and that's going to move the count to 3-2. So 3-2 the count. Theron Perkins trying to reach base. For the second time, he swings and misses on the 3-2 pitch, and there's your first out of the inning. Well, that'll bring up Brady Bejarano. The center fielder for the Rangers walked in his first at bat. Trevor Stiles now will move to the on-deck circle. Brandon Rodriguez took something off that pitch. So Brady Bejarano now. And the first to Bejarano, he's first pitch swinging. And he's going to lift it to right field. Sam Bond over there makes the catch. And there's 2 down for the Rangers in the bottom of the third. So that'll bring up Trevor Stiles. Stiles singled on a bunt in his first at bat. It was a well-placed bunt down the first base side. Couldn't quite get to it. Here's the first pitch to Stiles, and that's going to be low and outside for a ball. Want to know the count? Rodriguez gets the sign from De La Cueva, and here's the 1-0 pitch, and that's going to be fouled off, and that'll move the count to 1-1. So 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be low for a ball. And the count is now 2-1. The 2-1 pitch, that's going to be swung on and missed. And the count's going to move to 2-2. Oklahoma Panhandle State University out of Goodwell, Oklahoma. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And that's going to be fouled off. And the count's going to hold at 2-2. Prominent alumni of Panhandle State include Jim Holder, inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame, All-American running back out of Wichita Falls. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be low and outside, and that's going to bring our count to full. It's 3-2. Holder set the NIA rushing record in 1963. Another prominent alumni for Panhandle State is Frank Beatty, big old offensive lineman. The 3-2 pitch to Stiles is taken for a ball, and the Rangers have a runner on first. So that'll bring up Sean Kelly, who is just red hot at the plate. He's 2 for 2 today. He has doubled and he has singled. Frank Beatty, former offensive lineman for the Seattle Seahawks and alumni of Panhandle State. Here's the first pitch to Sean Kelly, and it's going to be low for a ball. And the count is 0-1. Kelly's next pitch swinging, lifts it to shallow right field. Kusamoto waves everybody off, makes the catch, and there's your third out. So the Rangers, for the first time today, are held scoreless. We go to the top of the fourth. Rangers leading 5-2. Garrett DeHaas is on for his fourth inning of work. He's pitched pretty well for the Rangers today. 3 innings, giving up 2 runs, 5 hits. Leading off for the Aggies is going to be designated hitter Tucker Bond. He will be followed by his brother Sam Bond, both out of Georgetown, Texas. First pitch to Tucker Bond is taken for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And that's over for a strike. The count moves to 1-1. Panhandle State from Goodwell, Oklahoma, out of Texas County. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And that's going to be taken for a ball. Count's going to move to 2-1. Garrett DeHaas, after getting out of that first inning, has pitched very efficiently. It's only pitched 49 for him. The 2-1 pitch is going to be taken for a ball. Count's going to move to 3-1. 3-1 the count. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be inside for a ball. And that'll bring up Sam Bond. Sam Bond did reach first, but it was on a dropped third strike. Garrett DeHaas checks the runner at first. First walk given up by DeHaas today. First pitch to Sam Bond is going to be low and inside for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be inside for ball 2. And that'll bring a visit from catcher Trevor Stiles out to visit with his 6'5" pitcher. Tell him to settle down a little bit. 2-0 the count to Sam Bond. Aggies out of Panhandle State looking to put some runs across this inning. Cade Mosley in the on-deck circle for them. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and that's going to be roped down the left field line, but foul. And the count's going to move to 2-1. 2-1 the count. Runner on first, nobody out in the top of the fourth. Rangers leading 5-2. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be inside for a ball. And the count's going to move to 3-1. So DeHaas, after not walking a hitter in his first 3 innings of work, is in danger here of walking his second in a row. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That's going to be swung on, and, well, it's a strike either way. Not sure whether he missed it or it was fouled. Either way, it's strike 2. Three and two, the count. And that ball's going to be hit to shortstop Sean Kelly. Flips over to second for 1. Fires over to first for 2. And for the third time today, the Rangers get a double play. So 6-4-3 if you're scoring at home. And that'll bring up Cade Mosley. Mosley doubled in his first at bat today. The first pitch to Mosley is outside for a ball. And the count is 1-0. 53 degrees today at Glass Family Field here at Northwestern. The 1-0 pitch to Mosley's taken for a strike. The sun is out, a little bit of clouds, but certainly a beautiful blue sky here in northwestern Oklahoma. Got a little bit of a breeze. Here's the pitch to Mosley. That's going to be inside for a ball. And the count's 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and that's over for a strike. Count then moves to 2-2. On deck for the Aggies is Jet Brown. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be low for a ball. And the count moves to 3-2. The Rangers will bring Barcelo, Holdren, and Schaefer to the plate in the bottom of the 4th, but they got to get past this first, and that ball is shot to center field. Bejarano is running back on it, but that's going to get off the wall. Mosley rounds first. He's going to get into second for a leadoff for a 2-out double. And he puts one off the wall. And that'll bring up Jet Brown. Brown today's 1 for 1. He's singled right up the middle in his first at bat. So the Aggies get their 6th hit of the day. 2 runs on 6 hits for them. 5 runs on 7 hits for the Rangers. DeHaas checks the runner at second. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be inside for a ball. Count is 1-0. Want to know the count. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be high and inside for a ball. And the count is 2-0. On deck for the Aggies is going to be Jose Arita. DeHaas checks the runner. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be upstairs for a ball. So the count moves to 3-0. As DeHaas, after pitching pretty efficiently in the second and third inning, has run himself into a little bit of tight spot here in the 4th. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and that's over for a strike. And the count's now 3-1 to the Aggies left fielder. 3-1 the count. Here's the pitch. And that's going to get through into right field for a base hit. Mosley's going to hold up at third. And the Aggies have something cooking here in the top of the 4th. So that'll bring up Jose Arrieta. He's 0 for 1 today. He grounded out in his first at bat. And that's going to bring a visit to the mound. Well, the pitching visit has concluded. Jose Arita steps to the plate for the Aggies. Arita comes into today's game hitting 149. No home runs, 6 RBIs on the season. The first pitch to Arita, and he fouls that one off, and the count's going to be 0-1. On deck for the Aggies will be catcher Luis De La Cueva. 0-1 the count. Aggies have runners at first and third. There's 2 outs in the top of the fourth. Rangers leading 5-2. The 0-1 pitch. And that's taken low for a ball. Count moves to 1-1. Rangers do have a left-hander getting loose in the bullpen. Garrett DeHaas trying to shut it down here. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that's inside for a strike. And the count moves to 1-2 to the Aggies shortstop. So 1-2 the count. 2 outs in the top of the fourth. DeHaas checks the runner. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and that's going to be outside and low for a ball. Count's going to move to 2-2. Nice job, Trevor Stiles, to keep that in front of him, not allowing any runners to advance. But 2-2 now. Garrett DeHaas about to throw pitch number 72 in the game. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and that's going to be hit to third baseman. Brandon Holden up with it, fires over to first. Nice dig at first by Theron Perkins, and that's your third out. So the Aggies threaten, but they're unable to score. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Rangers leading this one by a score of 5-2. Well, on the pitch for the Aggies in the bottom of the fourth, number 27, Tyler Nebbit. Nebbit has pitched an inning so far on the season. He's given up 4 earned runs. He's walked 1, hasn't struck out a hitter, given up 5 hits. And he will face Hagen Barcelo, Brandon Holdren, and John Schaefer for the Rangers. Rangers leading at 5-2. They scored 2 in the first and 3 in the second. 5 runs on 7 hits on the day, and the first pitch to Hagen Barcelo is taken low for a ball. Tyler Nebbit out of Bushland, Texas. Second pitch to Holdren, and that's going to be chopped up to the middle. Second baseman Ryan Kusamoto is on it, makes the throw to first, and there's 1 out. So that'll bring up Brandon Holdren. Holdren today has one official at bat. He walked in his second at bat, singled in his first. Here's the first pitch to Holdren, and that's going to be outside for ball one. So 1-0 the count to the Rangers' third baseman. And the 1-0 pitch is going to be fouled. And that's going to move the count to 1-1. Holdren, one of the Ranger hitters who had a really nice three-game series against Southern Nazarene, hit .538 with 2 home runs and 9 RBIs. I think he had 8 RBIs in the first game of the doubleheader on Saturday when the Rangers scored 25 runs. The 1-1 pitch to him is taken for a ball, and the count is now 2-1. So 2-1 the count. And here's the pitch. And that's going to be low for a ball. Count's going to move to 3-1. So 3-1 the count. Rangers leading it 5-2. Aggie pitchers have walked 5 Rangers so far on the day. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and that one's going to be fouled off. And the count's going to move to 3-2. John Schaefer in the on-deck circle for the Rangers. And Gavin Mendoza would be up after John if the inning were to continue that far. But Brandon Holdren facing a 3-2 count. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be chopped up the middle. Up on his Ryan Kusamoto at second, fires to first, and there's the second out of the inning. So 2 batters for the Rangers, 2 groundouts to second baseman Ryan Kusamoto here in the bottom of the fourth. That brings up John Schaefer, who's 1 for 2 on the day. He struck out swinging and singled in his last at bat. 2 runs on 7 hits for the Aggies, 5 runs on 7 hits for the Rangers. Here's the first pitch to John Schaefer, and that's going to be outside for ball one. On a gorgeous day here in Alva. 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be taken low for a ball. Count's going to move to 2-0. This is certainly not a hitter that you want to fall behind in the count on. But we'll see if Nebhut can rally. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be fouled off. And the count's going to move to 2-1. So 2-1 the count. Aggie outfielder is shading Schaefer slightly to the right. Here's the pitch. And Schaefer gets around that one, but pushes it foul. And the count's going to move to 2-2. 2-2 the count. Luis De La Cueva will lead things off for the Aggies in the top of the 5th. But the Rangers hoping to do so with some runs. And that's going to be hit to shortstop Arita. He fires to first, and there's your third out. So the Rangers go quietly in the 4th. We go to the top of the 5th. Rangers leading this one by a score of 5-2. Leading off for the Aggies in the top of the fifth will be catcher Luis De La Cueva. De La Cueva is 0 for 1 on the day. He hit a rather sharp fly ball to Braden Koenig, who caught it. And he's first pitch swinging. He's going to lift it. Looks to be foul in onto this first baseman, Theron Perkins, who makes the catch. And there's one pitch, one out. So that'll bring up Ryan Kusamoto. Kusamoto is one of the leading hitters on this Aggie team. He's 2 for 2 today with a double and a single. And here's the first pitch from DeHaas, and that is over for strike one. Kusamoto came into today hitting .360. Base percentage of .467. 1-0 pitch is taken for a ball. Count will move to 1-1. Kusamoto leading the team in hits and second in walks. 1-1 pitch is swung on, and it's going to be foul. Count's going to move to 1-2. The Aggies' second baseman by way of Australia. John Cabrera in the on-deck circle for the Aggies. There's one out in the top of the fifth. 1-2's the count. And the pitch to Kusamoto's fouled off. And the count's going to hold at 1-2. Rangers do have a left-hander warming up in the bullpen. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and that's going to be fouled off. Count holds at 1-2. One and two the count. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be fouled off. Kusamoto gets enough of it to stay alive in the at-bat. Being down 1-2, Kusamoto is now fouled off a couple of pitches. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed for strike three. So there's your first out of the fifth for Garrett DeHaas. Third strikeout today for Garrett. That'll bring up John Cabrera, who has singled and grounded out. First pitch from DeHaas is fouled off for strike one. So 0-1 the count. Nobody on. 2 outs in the top of the fifth. Rangers leading 5-2. They got 2 in the first, 3 in the second. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and that's going to be inside for a ball. Count's going to move to 1-1. Rangers hoping to continue the winning ways. Here's the pitch. And the 1-1 pitch is taken for a ball. Count's going to move to 2-1. Rangers have won 3 in a row following their sweep of Southern Nazarene over the weekend, but they've got a huge series this weekend over in Russellville. 2-1 pitch is going to be skied high. Underneath it is third baseman Brandon Holdren will make the catch, and it's 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Rangers leading 5-2. Well, on to pitch for the Aggies is going to be Carlos Joaquin, the junior out of the Dominican Republic. Has pitched 2 2/3 innings on the season. He has given up 5 earned runs. He's walked 2. He struck out 3, given up 3 hits, and he will face Gavin Mendoza, Braden Koenig, and Theron Perkins for the Rangers. Gavin Mendoza to lead things off. He is 1 for 1 on the game with a single and a walk. And the Rangers leading this one 5-2 in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the first pitch from Joaquin, and that's going to be inside for a ball. And the count's going to be 1-0. So the Aggies have had a different pitcher every inning for today. Just getting some guys some work, it looks like. 1-0 the count to Gavin Mendoza. Here's the pitch, and that ball's going to be roped down the first base line. Mosley with a nice play over there at first. Makes the grab, picks up, stands on first base, and there's 1 out for the Rangers. Well, that ball was certainly hit hard enough, but unfortunately it was hit right at first baseman Cade Mosley, and there's 1 out. That'll bring up Braden Koenig for the Rangers. He's 0 for 2 today. He grounded out to shortstop, and he flied out to center field. Here's Joaquin with the first pitch, and Koenig is first pitch swinging, fouls that one off, and the count's going to be 0-1 against the big right-hander from the Dominican Republic. So 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. And Koenig's going to lift that one into left field. That's going to get in for a base hit. That's going to go for extra bases. Koenig's rounding first. He's into second. Jet Brown trying to find it over there. Koenig rounds second. He's into third, and there you go. A triple for Braden Koenig on a ball that was just torched down the left field line. And for the first time since the second inning, the Rangers have an opportunity to get some runs on the board. That'll bring up Theron Perkins for the Rangers. He has doubled, and he has struck out swinging. There's 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Ranger hitters have been guilty of a little bit of bad luck today. They've hit some hard pitches, but they've hit a lot of pitches right at Aggie fielders. Here's the first pitch from Joaquin. That ball is swung and lifted to left field. Brown is back on it. And that's going to be a run scored for the Rangers on the sacrifice fly. So Theron Perkins picks up the RBI. And that'll bring up Brady Bejarano, who's 0 for 1. He has walked. He has grounded out. Rangers now leading it by a score of 6-2. 6 runs on 8 hits for this Rangers lineup that continues to hit the ball well. The first pitch to Bejarano is taken for a strike, and the count is 0-1. The Rangers have been aggressive. They've been able to make pretty good contact today for the most part. 0-1 is the count. Here's the pitch from Joaquin, and that's going to be low for a ball. And that'll move the count to 1-1. Trevor Stiles in the on-deck circle for the Rangers. And then it'll be the top of the lineup with the boys in red. 1-1 the count. Here's a pitch from Joaquin, and that's going to be taken for a ball. And the count's going to move to 2-1. 2-1's the count. Rangers leading at 6-2. There's 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Nobody on for Brady Bejarano. And here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed for a strike. And that'll move the count to 2-2. 2-2 the count. Nobody on in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and that's going to be hit right back up the middle. That's going to squirt through for a base hit. And for the 9th time today, the Rangers have a Hitter reach first. At least first, anyway. It wasn't the hardest hit ball that you'll ever see, but it was perfectly placed right over the second base. And Brady Bejarano is on with a single. Well, that'll bring up Trevor Stiles. Stiles on the day is 1 for 1. He bunted and he walked. Bunted for a single and walked. And here's the first pitch, and that ball is going to be hit to shortstop. Arita fires on to first, gets the out. And that's going to do it for the Rangers in the bottom of the fifth. But they do score a run. They lead it now 6-2. We're going to the top of the sixth. On to pitch the sixth for the Rangers is going to be Matthew Potts, 6-foot left-hander out of Pasadena, Texas, in Deer Park High School, baseball powerhouse down there in the Houston area. Matthew is making his 8th appearance on the season for the Rangers. He's got a record of 0-1, but in 9 2/3 innings, he's given up 11 hits. He's walked 4, given up 4 earned runs, and struck out 11. 3.72 ERA for the left-hander. That, of course, will close the door on Garrett DeHaas for the day. DeHaas pitched 5 innings for the Rangers, gave up 1 earned run, struck out 3, only walked 1. A very effective day for the Rangers' 6'5" starter. Matthew Potts looking to come in from the bullpen and continue the good pitching we've seen. The first pitch to Jeremy Diabartolomeo is fouled off for a strike, and the count is 0-1. DiBartolomeo came into today's game for the Aggies, hitting .373. He was their leading hitter, but he's 0 for 2 on the day. The 0-1 pitch is fouled off, and it's 0-2. He is grounded out, and he is flied out. Leads things off for the Aggies in the sixth. 2 runs on 7 hits for the Aggies, 6 runs on 9 hits for the Rangers. Here's the pitch from Potts, and that's going to be fouled off. And the count's going to hold at 0-2. To the count. Here's Potts with the pitch. And just staying alive. That ball's fouled off again. Count holds at 0-2. Tucker Bond in the on-deck circle for the Aggies. The 0-2 pitch. And that's going to be low for a ball. And that'll move the count to 1-2. Sneaking a peek over to the Aggies bullpen. Nobody warming up for them. So they might. 1-2 the count. Nobody out in the top of the sixth. DiBartolomeo leading things off for the Aggies. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be inside for a ball. And the count's going to move to 2-2. Potts gets the sign. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And that's going to be inside for a ball. So after getting ahead 0-2 to the Aggies' best hitter, count is now full, 3-2. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And that's going to be hit to left field. A diving attempt by Brandon Holdren can't come up with it. And DiBartolomeo has his first hit of the day. A leadoff single in the top of the sixth. So that'll bring up Tucker Bond. Bond today is 0 for 1. He has struck out swinging and he has walked. So the Aggies now with a runner on first. Nobody out in the top of the sixth. The Rangers have turned 3 double plays today. They'd like to pick up their 4th here. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be low for a ball. Oh, and 1 the count. Want to know the count? Excuse me. There's the pitch. And he chops it to second baseman. Barcelo's up with it. Fires to first for the 1. Ball hit just soft enough to make firing to second difficult. So there's your first out of the inning. Meanwhile, DiBartolomeo gets to second, and that'll bring up right fielder Sam Bond for the Aggies. Potts checks the runner. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be inside for a ball. Potts starts Sam Bond off with a ball. The count is 1-0. Rangers leading it 6-2. Here's the pitch. And that ball is going to be lifted foul. Count's going to move to 1-1. Cade Mosley on deck for the Aggies. Potts checks the runner. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And that's going to be fouled off. And that'll move the count to 1-2. Potts has struck out 11 batters so far on the season. The 1-2 pitch, though, is outside for a ball. And the count's going to move to 2-2. Potts with 11 strikeouts in 9 2/3 innings of work. Well, I guess we would say 10 innings of work now. 2-2 the count. Runner on second. Here's the pitch. That's a called strike 3. Nice pitch there by Matthew Potts. Absolutely fooled Sam Bond, and that's the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Cade Mosley, who's having himself a nice day. He's 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. Potts looks to retire the Aggies. Here's the first pitch to Mosley, and that's going to be high for ball 1. Want to know the count? Runner on second. 2 outs in the top of the sixth. Rangers leading this one by a score of 6-2. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be high for a ball. It's going to move the count to 2-0. On deck for the Aggies is left fielder Jet Brown. Two and 0 the count to the Aggies' first baseman. Potts fires to second, but DiBartolomeo is back safely. If Mosley gets aboard here, Jet Brown is 2 for 2 on the day also. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and Stiles keeps it in front of him, but meanwhile the pitch is called a ball, and the count's going to move to 3-0. So 3-0 the count. Rangers do have first base open. But in a 4-run game, Not sure you would do anything intentional here. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and that's going to be taken for ball 4. So that'll bring up Jet Brown, who has 2 singles on the day. Ranger pitchers on the day, that's only their second walk that they've issued. Now the Aggies have runners on first and second. There's 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Rangers leading 6-2. Here's the first pitch to Jet Brown. That's over for a strike. And the count is 0-1. Won the count. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be high for a ball. And that'll bring the count to 1-1. Rangers trying to win their 4th in a row before they head to Russellville against the GAC leading Arkansas Tech. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. And that'll be strike 2. So 1-2 the count. Runners on first and second. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be high for a ball. Count's going to move to 2-2. To the Aggies left fielder, Jose Arita on deck for the Aggies. 2-2 the count. Runners on first and second. And here's the pitch. And that's low for a ball. I'll move the count to 3-2. Here's Potts with the payoff pitch, and that's going to be lifted to left field. Schaefer is back on. It's going to get over his head, and that's going to score at least 1. There's 1, and here comes Mosley around third, and he is going to be out. Boy, for the second time today, the Aggies have tried to test the Rangers' arms in the outfield, and for the second time today, they have missed the opportunity. Aggies do score a run. They now trail at 6-3. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. Well, on to pitch for the Aggies is going to be number 10, Brian Rivera. Rivera, sophomore out of Puerto Rico. 5'5" right-hander. It's going to be his 3rd appearance on the season. He has pitched 2 innings. He's given up 2 earned runs. He's walked 3. He struck out 4, given up 2 hits. And he will face the top of the Rangers batting order, Sean Kelly, Hagen Barcelo, and Brandon Holdren. Sean Kelly will lead us off. Sean today is 2 for 3 with a double and a single. Rangers lead it 6-3 in the bottom of the sixth. And here's the first pitch from Rivera, and that's going to get the outside corner for a strike. Sean Kelly is down in the count 0-1 to start things off. So 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch, and that's strike two. A nasty curveball from Rivera that he's thrown back-to-back to the Rangers' shortstop. 0-2 the count, and that's going to be off the plate for a ball. Count moves to 1-2. 3 runs on 9 hits for the Aggies, 6 runs on 9 hits for the Rangers. Here's the pitch, and that's swung on a miss for strike 3, but the pitch is dropped, but up with it is De La Cueva, fires over to first baseman Cade Mosley, and Sean Kelly is retired. So that'll bring up Hagen Barcelo. Hagen today is 0 for 2. He has grounded out twice, and he has walked once. Here's the first pitch from Rivera. That's going to be inside for ball 1. The time curve didn't curve quite enough to catch the inside corner of the plate. 1-0 the count to the Rangers' second baseman. Here's the pitch, and Barcelo's going to hit that one to shortstop Arita, who's up with it, fires to first, and there are 2 down. So 6-3 if you're scoring at home. That's the second out of the bottom of the sixth for the Rangers. That'll bring up Brandon Holdren. Holdren today is 1 for 2. He has singled, he has walked, and he has grounded out. On deck for the Rangers would be John Schaefer. Rangers do have a pitcher warming up in the bullpen, a right-hander it looks like. Here's the first pitch from Rivera. And Brandon Holdren looks at ball 1. So 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch. And Holdren's going to lift that one to left field. Jet Brown is underneath it, makes the catch. And there's your third out of the 6th inning. So 3 up, 3 down for the Rangers. We go to the top of the 7th. Rangers leading it 6-3. On to pitch for the Rangers in the top of the 7th will be number 32, Zach McCaffrey. McCaffrey, a 6'3" right-hander out of Enid High School. His 5th appearance on the season. He's pitched 4 2/3 innings. He's given up 6 hits. Only given up 1 run. He's walked one, and he struck out 2 for a 1.93 ERA. Well, the Rangers' Matthew Potts' day is concluded. He pitched 1 inning, gave up 1 earned run, struck out 1, walked 1, gave up 2 hits. On the day, the Rangers' pitching has been very effective. They have struck out 4. They've given up 9 hits, but only 2 walks. And they've certainly been bolstered by a Rangers infield that has performed well with 3 double plays on the day. Leading off for the Aggies will be shortstop Jose Arita. Arita today is 0 for 2. He has grounded out twice. We will see what the 6'3" former Plainsman out of Enid High School can do. Here's the first pitch to Arita, and that's in for a strike. Count is 0-1 to start things off here in the top of the 7th. 3 runs on 9 hits for the Aggies, 6 runs on 9 hits for the Rangers. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and that's going to be off the plate for a ball. And the count moves to 1-1. One and one the count. Here's the pitch. And Arita's going to lift that one foul, or high anyway. Underneath it is catcher Trevor Stiles, who makes the catch. And there's 1 down. I guess it wasn't foul. Sometimes when you're reading those, you're just reading the initial response of the catcher. And the initial response of the catcher made me think that it was foul, but it was not. But either way, it's 1 down. That'll bring up catcher Luis De La Cueva for the Aggies. De La Cueva today is 0 for 2. He has popped up to the catcher, and he has flied out to right fielder Braden Koenig. The first pitch is swung on a miss for strike 1. So Alex Rodriguez hitting now for the Aggies. He's looking at a 1-1 count. Here's the pitch, and that's swung on a miss for strike 2. The 1-2 the count to Alex Rodriguez. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be outside for a ball. And the count moves to 2-2. A beautiful day for baseball here in Northwest Oklahoma. Here's the 2-2 pitch from McCaffrey. That ball's going to be chopped to third baseman Brandon Holdren up with it. Fires to first, and there's 2 gone. Nice looking play there from the Rangers' third baseman. And that'll bring up Ryan Kusamoto. Kusamoto today is 2 for 3. He has doubled and singled. His last at bat, however, he struck out swinging. Nobody on, 2 outs in the top of the 7th for the Rangers. Here's the pitch from McCaffrey, and that's going to be, well, it's going to hit him. So Kusamoto will take first base. And that'll bring up John Cabrera. Cabrera on the day is 1 for 3. He is singled. Grounded out to third baseman Brandon Holdren. Popped up to the pitcher. His last at bat. So 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Runner on first. And here's the first pitch to Cabrera. And that's over for a strike. Kusamoto over at first base by virtue of being hit with the pitch. He has 2 stolen bases on the season in 3 attempts. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch from McCaffrey, and that's going to be outside for a ball. And that's going to bring the count to 1-1. McCaffrey firing over to first. Kusamoto back easily. remains 1-1. And McCaffrey firing back over to first again. Kusamoto back safely. 3 runs on 9 hits, no errors. 4 left on for the Aggies. 6 runs on 9 hits, no errors. 6 left on for the Rangers. Add it all up, Rangers lead it 6-3. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And that's going to be inside for a ball. Count moves to 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And that's going to be inside for a ball. Count's going to move to 3-1. So after getting ahead on a first pitch strike, McCaffrey has thrown 3 straight out of the strike zone. And now the count is 3-1. Jeremy DiBartolomeo is on deck for the Aggies. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Move the count to 3-2. DiBartolomeo for the Aggies, their leading hitter coming into the game, hitting .370. You'd certainly rather face him to lead off the 8th than to face him with runners in scoring position. McCaffrey fires to first baseman Theron Perkins, but Kusamoto back safely. 3-2 the count. Runner on first. Rangers leading at 6-3. 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Schaefer, Mendoza, and Koenig to hit in the Rangers half of the inning. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be through the infield for a base hit. Again, Brandon Holden diving. Kusamoto takes third. Nice throw from John Schaefer, but not quite fast enough. And so now Bartolomeo steps to the plate. He is 1 for 3 on the day. He is grounded out. He is popped up. And he has singled sharply to left field in his last at bat. And here's the first pitch from McCaffrey that's taken for strike 1. So 0-1 the count to the Aggies' third baseman. Bartolomeo leading the Aggies in many offensive categories, including RBIs, with 20 on the season. And that ball is going to be hit into the gap. It's going to get down for a base hit. That's going to score 1. Cabrera will hold up at second. And DiBartolomeo has his second hit of the day, this time an RBI single. So that'll bring up Tucker Bond. Aggies cut the lead to 6-4. Tucker Bond is 0 for 2 today. He has struck out, he has walked, and he grounded out to second baseman Hagen Barcelo in his last at bat. And here's the first pitch from McCaffrey, and that hit him. So that'll load the bases for Sam Bond. But first, we're going to have a visit to the mound. So the visit is over. Zach McCaffrey trying to work his way out of a jam here. Bases are full of Oklahoma Panhandle State Aggies. There's 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Rangers clinging to a 6-4 lead. The Rangers got 2 runs in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the 5th. The Aggies got 2 in the first, 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. Sam Bond at the plate. Here's the first pitch from McCaffrey, and that is outside for ball 1. And on deck for the Aggies is first baseman Cade Mosley, who's 2 for 2 with 2 doubles today. Want to know the count. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be low and outside for ball 2. So we know the count. Zach McCaffrey about to throw pitch number 21 of the inning. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And that's going to be inside for a ball. And that'll move the count to 3-0. Nowhere to put him here. Bases are loaded. Rangers leading 6-4 in the top of the 7th. There's 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be ball 4. So that'll push a run across. The lead is now 6-5 for the Rangers. Cade Mosley will step to the plate for the Aggies, but we're going to get a pitching change. And we'll tell you about the new pitcher here in just a few minutes. Well, on to pitch for the Rangers is going to be number 28, Connor Gibson. 6'1" right-handed pitcher out of Emmett, Idaho, by way of Treasure Valley Community College. Gibson making his 8th appearance on the season for the Rangers. He's pitched 12 innings. He's given up 11 hits. He's given up 5 earned runs. He's walked 7. He struck out 17. And he will face Cade Mosley, who's 2 for 2 with 2 doubles and a walk. And the first pitch to Mosley is taken for strike 1. Bases are full of Aggies. Rangers leading at 6-5. They had a 6-2 lead at one point, but the Aggies have chipped away at it. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and that's going to get away from Trevor Stiles. DeBartolomeo is going to score from third, and we are tied up. So DeBartolomeo scores on the wild pitch, and everybody advances a base. And the 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed for strike 2. Aggies now with runners at second and third. They've scored 3 runs here in the top of the 7th, all of them charged to Zach McCaffrey, including the 2 runners that are still on base. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and that's going to be outside for ball 2. On deck for the Aggies is left fielder Jet Brown. 2-2 the count. 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Runners on second and third. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a ground ball hit to shortstop. Sean Kelly up with it, fires over to first, and he's going to get the out. But the Aggies score 3 times. They tie this game up. We're 6-6 going to the bottom of the 7th. Rangers get John Schaefer, Gavin Mendoza, and Braden Koenig up to bat. We'll see what they can do. On to pitch for the Aggies is going to be number 24, Braden Green. Braden, the sophomore out of Manford, Oklahoma. This is his 6th appearance on the season. He's pitched 8 1/3 innings. He's given up 13 hits, 17 earned runs. He's walked 10 and struck out 8. He'll face John Schaefer to lead things off for the Rangers. John today is 1 for 3. He has singled, he has grounded out, and he has struck out. And the first pitch to John Schaefer is going to be taken low for ball 1. The Rangers, after scoring their 6th run of the game in the bottom of the 5th, that ball is going to be low for ball 2. After scoring their 6th run in the bottom of the 5th to take a 6-2 lead. But the Aggies scored 1 in the 6th and 3 in the 7th to tie it up. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And Schaefer lifts it to shallow right center. That's going to fall for a base hit. Well, it'll go for a single, but it won't be the prettiest single you'll ever see in your life. But I'm not sure John Schaefer cares about that. I think Ryan Kusamoto over there at second base might have lost it in the sun. But either way, the Rangers have their leadoff runner aboard, and that'll bring up Gavin Mendoza. Mendoza on the day is 1 for 2. He has singled, he has walked, and he grounded out to first baseman Cade Mosley on a rocket of a ball that was hit, but unfortunately right to the first baseman for the Aggies. Here's the first pitch from Green, and that's going to be over for strike 1. Braden Koenig on deck for the Rangers. He would be followed by Theron Perkins if the Rangers are able to get something going here. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch from Braden Green, and that's going to be punched into left field, but that's going to drift foul. Count's going to move to 0-2. So the Rangers have a runner on first following the leadoff single. No outs in the bottom of the 7th and a 6-6 ball game. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and that's going to be outside for a ball. And the count's going to be 1-2. 6 runs on 11 hits, 6 left on for the Aggies. 6 runs on 10 hits, 6 runners left on for the Rangers. 1-2 the count to Gavin Mendoza. And the 1-2 pitch is going to be outside, and that's going to move the count to 2-2. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch from Braden Green. Swung on and missed for strike 3. So Gavin Mendoza's down on strikes. That'll bring up Braden Koenig. Koenig today is 1 for 3. He is grounded out. He is flied out, but in his last at bat, he tripled. Certainly like to see a repeat of that. Gavin Mendoza, the 4th strikeout victim of the Rangers today. Green fires back to first, but John Schaefer is back safely. John Schaefer does not have a stolen base on the season. That ball is put into right field for a base hit. And Braden Koenig comes through in a big moment there for the Rangers. Schaefer gets to second. And the Rangers now have runners on second for Theron Perkins. Perkins on the day has doubled. He struck out swinging, and he is flied out to left fielder Jet Brown. So the Rangers now with runners on first and second. We're in the bottom of the 7th. There's 1 out. Panhandle State has come back to tie this one 6-6 after the Rangers had gotten off to a 6-2 lead. Here's the first pitch, and that's going to be inside for ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. Bring the count to 1-1. Brady Bejarano scheduled to hit next for the Rangers. One and one the count. Check the runner second. Here's the pitch. And that ball is going to be lifted to right field. Sam Bond underneath it makes the catch, and there's your second out of the inning. So that'll bring up Brady Bejarano. Brady today's 1 for 2. He has walked, he has grounded out, and he has singled. He has a chance to come up with a big at-bat today if he can find a way to poke one through. Runners on first and second for the Rangers. We're tied 6-6 in the bottom of the 7th. 2 outs. The first pitch to Bejarano is taken for a ball. And the count is 1-0. Want to know the count? Here's the pitch. And that's going to be outside for a ball. Count moves to 2-0. Verano's going to lift that one into center right field. That's going to get through for a base hit. It's going to get between the two fielders. 1 run scores. Here comes the second run. Koenig on his way home. Verano into third, and he is safe. And Brady Bejarano comes up big in a big moment for the Rangers. After surrendering 3 in the top of the 7th and allowing the Aggies to tie the score, it's 6-6. Bejarano comes up with the 2 RBI triple. So with 1 swing of the bat, the Rangers now lead it 8-6. Colby Jarnigan is going to be pitch hitting for Trevor Stiles. Colby Jernigan has a chance to get another one across here if he can get one through. And he's first pitch swinging. That's hit deep to right field. Sam Bond is looking up, but he ain't going to get it. Cue the band, cue the applause. Colby Jernigan has left the ballpark. So with two big hits back-to-back from Brady Bejarano, a two-run triple, and then Colby Jernigan follows that up with a two-run home run. And now the Rangers lead it 10-6. Sean Kelly up to bat for the Rangers. He's 2 for 4 today. He has doubled and singled. The first pitch to him is taken for strike one. The second pitch is fouled off for strike two. And the Ranger bats have come up big when they have needed them. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and that's going to be low and outside for a ball. Jarnigan came into the day hitting 143 on the season. That's his first home run of the season. And also his first 2 RBIs. Meanwhile, the 1-2 pitch is taken for a ball. It's 2-2 to Sean Kelly. And that ball is going to be lifted into center field. Cabrera's looking up at it, and he will watch it get out of here. And cue the band, cue the applause, because Sean Kelly's hit it out. So now the Rangers lead it 11-6. As Sean Kelly hits his third long ball of the year. That'll bring up Hagen Barcelo. Barcelo today is 0 for 3. He walked in his first at-bat, and he has grounded out in his next 3 at-bats. Barcelo leading the team in home runs, and he goes deep. And that one is going to get out of here. And cue the band again. Hagen Barcelo takes it out as the Rangers go back to back to back. And that's going to push the score to 12-6. That's home run number 8 on the season for Hagen Barcelo, leading the team in home runs. Now it's 27th RBI on the season, leading the team in RBIs. And the Rangers have suddenly found the long ball here in the bottom of the 7th. And that'll bring up Brandon Holdren to the plate. Holdren's 1 for 3 today. He has singled and walked. First pitch to Holdren. The second pitch is punched into left field. That's going to get through for a base hit. And that'll bring up John Schaefer. John Schaefer is 2 for 4 on the day. He has singled twice. And Braden Green, after seeing his team score 3 runs in the top of the 7th to tie the score, that ball is going to be lifted into left field. That's going to get through for a base hit. Holdren's going to round second. He's going to get to third. Meanwhile, Schaefer's going to get to second for a double. And all of a sudden, the Rangers are hitting on all cylinders again. The score is 12-6. And we're going to get a visit to the mound by the Aggies and possibly a pitching change. The Rangers all of a sudden got dialed in a hurry here in the bottom of the 7th. Looks like we're not going to have a pitching change after all. Instead, we're going to get Gavin Mendoza to the plate for the Rangers. The situation is there's 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. The Rangers have scored 6 runs in this inning by virtue of back-to-back-to-back home runs from Jarnigan, Kelly, and Barcelo. And Braden Holdren and John Schaefer follow that up with back-to-back hits. So 5 straight Rangers have reached base. Here's the first pitch to Mendoza. That's going to get away from Alex Rodriguez, but not enough for Brandon Holdren to advance. Count's going to be 1-0 to Gavin Mendoza. On deck for the Rangers would be Braden Koenig. 1-0 the count. Runners on second and third. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. The Rangers now 12 runs on 17 hits. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that's going to be low and inside for a ball. And the count's going to move to 2-0 to the Rangers' designated hitter. 2-0 the count. Here's the pitch. And that ball is going to be lifted sky high. Back on it is shortstop Arita, but in on it is left fielder Jet Brown, who drops the ball. And two more Rangers are going to score. And we'll see how the official scorekeeper wants to score that. And I've just been told that's going to be scored a single. So a 2 RBI single for Gavin Mendoza pushes the Rangers lead to 14-6. And that'll bring up Braden Koenig. Koenig today's 2 for 4. He is tripled and singled. The first pitch to Koenig is taken for a ball. Now 14 runs on 18 hits for the Rangers, 6 runs on 11 hits for the Aggies. And here's the 1-0 pitch. And that's going to be outside for a ball. Count's going to be 2-0. The count. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be outside for ball 3. On deck for the Rangers is Theron Perkins. This Rangers lineup, who came into today's game hitting .295 with 34 home runs and 146 RBIs, has come alive. 3-0 pitch is going to be fouled off, and that's going to move the count to 3-1. Three and one the count, runner on first. And that's over for a strike. And that's going to run the count full, 3-2. To the Rangers right fielder. Here's the payoff pitch. And Koenig's going to lift that one foul. Hope everybody's cars over there, over the left field line are okay. 3-2 the count. Rangers leading at 14-6, having scored 8 runs here in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the payoff pitch, and that's outside for ball 4. So that'll bring up Theron Perkins. Perkins today is 1 for 4. He is doubled. Come up with another one hit down the line here. He can get 2 more runs across. First pitch to Perkins is over for strike 1. Want to know the count? Mendoza at second, Koenig at first for the Rangers. Here's the pitch. And that ball's lifted sky high. Second baseman Kusumata is over, makes the catch, and there's your third out. But the Rangers score 8 times in the bottom of the 7th. We go to the top of the 8th. The Rangers leading this one by a score of 14-6. Leading off for the Aggies is going to be left fielder Jet Brown. Jet Brown has had himself a good day at the plate today. He's gone 3 for 3 with 2 singles and a double. He'll face Connor Gibson in for his second inning of work, and the first pitch to Brown is over for strike one. Hayden Priest in to catch for the Rangers, following Colby Jernigan pinch hitting for Trevor Stiles and hitting a home run. The 0-1 pitch to Jet Brown is over for strike two. Connor Gibson looking certainly to get the shutdown inning here after his offense got him 8 runs. 0-2 pitch, and that's going to be taken for ball one. So 1-2 the count. And here's the 1-2 pitch, and that's going to be outside for a ball, and that's going to make the count 2-2. On deck for the Aggies is shortstop Jose Arita, and he would be followed by catcher Alex Rodriguez. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and that ball is going to be lifted to left field. John Schaefer is back, but he's going to look up. He's going to watch it get out of here. So Jet Brown continues his hot hitting for the day. He's now 4 for 4 with a single, a double, and a home run. 2 singles anyway. So that'll bring up Jose Arita. Arita today's 0 for 3. He has grounded out twice, and he's popped up. Rangers now lead at 14-7. Here's the first pitch to Arita. It's hit right over the pitcher, in on this Sean Kelly, who bobbles it and can't make the play. And we'll see how the official scorer wants to score that one. And I've just been told that's going to be a single. So that'll bring up Alex Rodriguez. First pitch to Alex Rodriguez is fouled off. Count is 0-1. Here's the next pitch, and that ball's going to be hit into foul territory. And Brandon Holdren can't quite get over there and make the play. And the count's going to move to 0-2. 7 runs on 13 hits for the Aggies, 14 runs on 18 hits for the Rangers. Connor Gibson working his second inning of this one. Gave up the solo home run to Jet Brown. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be, well, the runner's going to take off for a second. That ball's going to get through, and the runner's going to get to third base. Jose Arita takes second on the steal and then advances to third on the error. Meanwhile, the pitch was a ball. So now the Aggies have a runner on third and a 1-2 count, and that one is fouled off as Alex Rodriguez stays alive. 1-2 the count. The Aggies have scored 1 here in the top of the 8th. It's their third straight inning to get at least 1 across, and timeout called by the hitter. According to the new rules, the umpire doesn't have to give him time there, but he did. So 1-2 the count. Runner on third, no outs, and that's going to be fouled off. The count's going to hold at 1-2. Rangers do have a left-hander getting warm in the bullpen. Here's Gibson with the 1-2 pitch. And that's going to be high for a ball. Count's going to move to 2-2. On deck for the Aggies is Ryan Kusamoto, who's working on a 3-hit game. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Gibson. That's going to be rifled into right field. That's going to get in for a base hit and score a run. And the Rangers now lead at 14-8. So that'll bring up Ryan Kusamoto. I said he was working on a 3-hit game. He's working on a 2-hit game. He's 2 for 3. He's doubled and singled, and he's been hit by a pitch. Here's the first pitch from Gibson. That's swung on a miss for strike one. Count is 0-1. Still nobody out in the top of the eighth. The Aggies have scored twice to cut into that Rangers 8-run lead that's now 6. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and that's a grounder hit to the right side. Diving forward is Barcelo. He can't come up with it. And Kusamoto has his third hit of the game. More importantly than that, from the Rangers' perspective, the Aggies now have runners on first and second with nobody out. They've scored 2 runs, the Aggies have, here in the top of the eighth. Coach Bowen coming out to the mound, points to the bullpen. We're going to get a pitching change, and we'll tell you all about that when we come back. On to pitch for the Rangers is going to be 6'4" left-hander Kyle Gescheidel. Gescheidel from Lantana, Texas, just south of Denton. Kind of in that Corinth, Argyle, Denton area. Gescheidel on the season, making his 5th appearance for the Rangers. He's pitched 4 1/3 innings, given up 8 hits, 10 earned runs. He's walked 6 and struck out 4. And he will face John Cabrera, who is 2 for 4 on the day. Aggies have runners on first and second. They've scored 2 here in the top of the 8th. Rangers lead it 14-8. But the Aggies, to their credit, have just chipped away all day long. Rangers got off to a 6-2 lead. But from the 6th inning on, the Aggies have managed to put at least 1 run up in every inning. And here's the first pitch to Cabrera, and that's outside for ball 1. So 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch. And Gescheidel gets that one over for a strike. Moves the count to 1-1. There's still nobody out at the top of the 8th. Aggies have runners on first and second. On deck will be their best hitter, Jeremy DiBartolomeo. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And Gescheidel gets that over for a strike. And the count moves to 1-2. The Rangers' bottom of the 8th looks like Bejarano, probably Hayden Priest, who's come on to catch, and Sean Kelly. They got to get out of this jam first. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be taken for a ball. And the count then moves to 2-2. 8 runs on 15 hits for Panhandle State today. 14 runs on 18 hits for the Rangers. The count is 2-2 to John Cabrera. And here's the pitch. And that's going to be fouled off. And the count's going to hold at 2-2. Rangers do have a right-hander tossing in the bullpen. Aggies have had looks like a left-hander tossing for a while. 2-2's the count. Here's the pitch from Gescheidel. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Boy, that's a big strikeout for Kyle Gescheidel. That'll bring up Jeremy DiBartolomeo. He's 2 for 4 today. He has singled in his last 2 at-bats. He's got a runner on first and a runner on second, so a runner in scoring position. The Aggies have struck for 2 runs in this inning so far. And here's Gescheidel with the pitch. And the first pitch to DiBartolomeo is outside for ball 1. So 1-0 the count. Tucker Bond in the on-deck circle for the Aggies. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And that's going to be a little high for ball 2. Here's Gescheidel with the 2-0 pitch. And that can't quite catch the outside corner. It's ball 3. So 3-0 the count. And Gescheidel's 1 ball away from loading up the bases for Tucker Bond. Here's Gescheidel with a 3-0 pitch. And that's over for a strike. And that moves the count to 3-1. DiBartolomeo taking all the way there, we would assume, with a 3-0 count. So the count's now 3-1. Runners on first and second, 1 out in the top of the 8th. Rangers leading at 14-8. Here's the pitch, and there's ball 4. So that'll bring up Tucker Bond. He's 0 for 2 today. He has struck out. He has walked. He grounded out to second baseman Hagen Barcelo, and he was hit by a pitch in his last at-bat. Garrett DeHaas started this game for the Rangers, went 5 innings, struck out 3 and walked 1. But he is not going to be the pitcher of record. Here's the first pitch to Tucker Bond, and that's going to be low for ball 1. Want to know the count. Bases are full of Aggies. 1-1 pitch is outside for ball 2. Kyle Gescheidel now has thrown 18 pitches. 8 of them have been for balls. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's swung on and missed for strike 1. Tucker Bond's brother, Sam Bond, would be the next hitter to the plate for the Aggies if the inning continues. But it's 2-1 to Tucker Bond, and the 2-1 pitch is inside for ball 3. So 3-1 the count. Gescheidel gets the sign from catcher Hayden Priest. Here's the 3-1 pitch. And that's low for ball 4. So for the second time today, the Rangers walk in a run, and that's going to get a visit from manager Ryan Bowen, and we're going to get another call to the bullpen. We'll tell you who the new pitcher is when we come back. Well, on to pitch for the Rangers is going to be number 4, Jacob Shaw. Shaw, 5'11", right-handed pitcher out of Hastings, Nebraska, by way of Cloud Community College. Making his 6th appearance on the season for the Rangers. He's pitched 12 and 2/3 innings. He's given up 21 hits, 15 earned runs. He's walked 15 and struck out 5. He will face Sam Bond, who's 0 for 3 on the game. The on-deck circle for the Aggies will be Cade Mosley. Here's the first pitch to Bond, and that's going to be low for ball 1. So 1-0 the count. For the second inning in a row, Panhandle State has put 3 on the board. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that's over for strike 1. Bases are full of Aggies with runners on every base. 1 out in the top of the 8th. Rangers leading it 14-9. Here's the pitch. And that ball is pushed foul down the third base side. And the count's going to move to 1-2. One and two the count. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. And that's a big strikeout for Jacob Shaw. That's your second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Cade Mosley. Mosley today is 2 for 3. He has 2 doubles. He has walked. And he grounded out on a nice play by Sean Kelly. Certainly not the guy you want to face today with the bases loaded. Here's the first pitch from Shaw. And that misses the outside corner. It's going to be ball 1. Unfortunately for the Rangers, the next guy up to bat is Jet Brown, and he's 4 for 4 today. So it doesn't get any easier for the Rangers pitchers. 1-0 the count. And that's across the inside corner for a strike. And that'll push the count to 1-1. Here's a 1-1 pitch, and that's over for a strike. Now the count's 1-2. To Caden Mosley, who came into today's game hitting .467, but only in 15 plate appearances. He's probably earned himself the right to get more playing time after today's game. 1-2 pitch is low for ball 2. They did check to see if he went around on the check swing. He did not. And the count is now 2-2. Shaw checks the runner at second. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And he got him on strike 3. Boy, what a big pitch for Jacob Shaw. And he finally retires the Aggies in the top of the 8th. But the Aggies do get 3. Rangers lead it, though, 14-9. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. Well, on the pitch for the Aggies is going to be number 16, right-handed pitcher Jorge Rijo, freshman out of the Santo Dominican, the Dominican Republic. Rio is making his 5th appearance on the season. He's pitched 4 1/3 innings. He's given up 6 earned runs. He's walked 6 and struck out 4. And he will face Brady Bejarano, we think Hayden Priest, and Sean Kelly to lead things off in the bottom of the 8th for the Rangers. The first pitch to Bejarano is taken for ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Rijo, and that's going to be high for ball 2. 9 runs on 15 hits for Panhandle State. 14 runs on 18 hits for the Rangers. 2-0 the count to Bejarano, who's 2 for 3 today. And that's going to be taken for ball 3. Bejarano has singled and tripled today. He's also walked. Re-0 the count to the Rangers' leadoff hitter in the bottom of the 8th. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and that's going to be inside for strike 1. Rio has walked 6 in 4 1/3 innings, and he's down 3-1 here to Brady Bejarano, and that's ball 4. So the Rangers get their leadoff runner aboard by virtue of the walk. And that'll bring up catcher Hayden Priest. Hayden didn't get the start today after catching all 3 games against Southern Nazarene. But he was another one of those Rangers, had himself a pretty good series over there in Bethany. Comes into the day hitting .215 on the season with a home run and 9 RBIs. The first pitch to Hayden is taken for a ball, and the count is 1-0. The count. Here's the pitch, and that nips the outside corner for a strike. And the count is now 1-1 to the Rangers catcher. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And Hayden turns on that and gives it a ride, but it is pretty foul. And the count's going to move to 1-2. Hayden just a little bit early there. Here's the pitch. Runner takes off for second. Here's the throw, and not in time, as Brady Bejarano is going to pick up the steal. So Bejarano gets his first steal of the season. Meanwhile, the count is 2-2. That ball's going to get away from Alex Rodriguez, and Bejarano's going to get to third on the wild pitch. So now the count is 3-2. Nobody out in the bottom of the 8th. Hayden Priest, the batter. Jorge Rijo, the pitcher for the Aggies. Sean Kelly in the on-deck circle for the Rangers. Hayden Priest has a chance to pick up his 10th RBI of the season if he can get Bejarano across. Here's the pitch, and Hayden just kind of little half swing, check swing, but fouls it off. Count holds at 3-2. So 3-2 the count. Here's the pitch. And that ball's going to be hit to shortstop Arita. He's going to be up with it. He's going to throw to first. There's going to be the first out. But meanwhile, Bejarano scores as that ball was just hit a little bit too softly in order to be able to have much of a chance of getting Moreno out at the plate. So 6-3 if you're scoring at home. The Rangers do get a run across. They lead it now 15-9. That'll bring up Sean Kelly. Kelly today's 3 for 5. He has doubled. He has singled and he's hit a home run, so if he can come up with a triple, he'd have the cycle. Here's the first pitch to Kelly. That's taken for strike one. So 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be upstairs for ball one. Hagen Barcelo in the on-deck circle for the Rangers. 1-1 the count. And that's going to get over for strike two. And that's going to move the count to 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And that curve stays high. Move the count to 2-2. Two and two the count. Here's Rio with the 2-2 pitch. And that's going to be outside for ball three. So the count's full to Sean Kelly. One out in the bottom of the eighth. Nobody on for the Rangers by virtue of the run scoring by Brady Bejarano. Push the lead to 15-9. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed for strike three. So there's your second out of the inning. That'll bring up Hagen Barcelo. Barcelo today is 1 for 4. He homered in his last at bat. In fact, he hit the third of back-to-back-to-back home runs. Here's the pitch from Rijo, and Barcelo's first pitch swinging. He'll foul that one off, and the count starts off at 0-1 to the Rangers' second baseman. Brandon Holdren in the on-deck circle if Barcelo can get aboard. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Rijo, and that's going to stay high for ball one. Rijo's tried to use that curve early in the count. A couple times he's kind of left it a little high. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. And that's going to stay up. Count's going to move to 2-1. Two and one the count. Here's the pitch. And that time Rio throws a fastball. It's lifted into shallow left field. Diabartolomeo back there to catch it. And that's your third out of the eighth inning. But the Rangers do manage to get one across. We go to the top of the ninth. The Rangers leading this one 15-9. Leading off for the Aggies is going to be Jet Brown. Brown has certainly seen his batting average climb today. Came in today hitting 188, but he's gone 4 for 4. The first pitch from Jacob Shaw is taken for ball one. Rangers lead this one 15-9. We're in the top of the ninth. Trying to close the door and get ready for Arkansas Tech this weekend. The 1-0 pitch to Brown is low for ball one. Jose Arita will be next for the Aggies. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and that's going to be low for ball three. So 3-0 the count. Here's the pitch. And that gets over for strike one. Three and one the count. Nobody on in the top of the ninth. Nobody out. Here's the pitch. And that gets over for strike two. Jet Brown, a sophomore out of UConn by way of Leedy. Had himself a nice game today. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And that ball's going to be swung on and hit foul. And the count's going to hold at 3-2. It wasn't foul by much, but it was foul by enough. Here's Shaw with a payoff pitch. Swung on and missed for strike three. Boy, Jacob Shaw with a couple of huge strikeouts today. Here's your first out of the top of the ninth. That'll bring up Jose Arita. Arita today's 1 for 4. He is singled. Here's the pitch. First pitch swinging and missing. The strike one to Jose Arita. The 0-1 pitch over for strike two. Alex Rodriguez in the on-deck circle for the Aggies. 0-2 the count to the Aggies shortstop. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed for strike three. So there's your second out of the ninth. That'll bring up Alex Rodriguez, who is 1 for 2 today with a single. Jacob Shaw picked up his third strikeout. First pitch to Rodriguez is low for ball one. 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Count moves to 1-1. On deck for the Aggies would be their leadoff hitter, Ryan Kusamoto. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that's high for ball two. 2-1 the count. Pitch, that ball is roped down the third baseline, but foul. Counts now 2-2. There's 2 outs in the top of the ninth. Rangers leading at 15-9. Alex Rodriguez at the plate. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and that's going to be low for a ball. And the count moves to 3-2. So the count is full. 2 outs in the top of the ninth. Rangers looking to make it 4 in a row, and they do. Strike three. And that's it. Hello, win column for the 4th time in a row. The The Rangers follow a 3-game sweep of Southern Nazarene with a 15-9 defeat of the Panhandle State Aggies. Wasn't always pretty, but a win is a win. The Rangers are paced offensively by Sean Kelly, who goes 3 for 6 with a home run and 2 RBIs. Hagen Barcelo goes 1 for 5 with a home run. Brandon Holdren goes 2 for 4. John Schaefer goes 3 for 5. Gavin Mendoza goes 2 for 4. Braden Koenig goes 2 for 4. Theron Perkins goes 1 for 5. Brady Bejarano goes 3 for 3. Trevor Stiles goes 1 for 2. Everybody for the Rangers who got an at-bat got a hit, with the exception of Hayden Priest, who only had the one at-bat, but did pick up an RBI. On the mound for the Rangers, got a good start from Garrett DeHaas. He goes 5 innings. Gave up 1 earned run, struck out 3. Gave up 7 hits, only walked 1. Bullpen was a little shaky at times, but they made big pitches when it mattered. And the Rangers going to get out of here with a win. Jacob Shaw goes 1 1/3 today. He strikes out 4. Doesn't give up any earned runs. Had a couple of huge strikeouts. Doesn't walk anyone. And the Rangers will improve on their season record today. They moved to 13-11 on the season, 9-4 here at Glass Family Field. And they get ready to head to Russellville for a weekend series against Arkansas Tech, who is leading the GAC. And so certainly if the Rangers can pick up a couple from Russellville, they can close the gap. But as for today, the Rangers win, and everybody is happy in Mudville tonight. So thanks for listening. We'll see you next time, everybody.